This declassified briefing video introduces the hard hand of war, presenting a tactical and geographic analysis of General Sherman's historical march to the sea across Georgia from November the 15th to December the 21st, 1864. Rather than chasing Confederate threats to his rear, General Sherman executed a bold calculus. He severed his own supply lines from Atlanta and marched to the Atlantic. This shift embraced the doctrine of total war, bringing its uncompromising hard hand directly to the Southern populace. To survive without traditional supply lines, General Sherman weaponized 1860 U.S. Census data. His army mapped a 300-mile path directly through Georgia's most agriculturally abundant counties, systematically targeting local crops and livestock to sustain the march through aggressive interior foraging. This order of battle outlines Sherman's invading force of 62,000 men. Divided into two main columns, the right wing advanced towards Macon, while the left wing feinted towards Augusta. Anchoring this dual-pronged assault was a 5,000-man cavalry division reporting directly to Sherman. This official War Department map illustrates the 300-mile campaign theater. Evacuating a burning Atlanta on November 15th, 4 Army Corps advanced 15 miles daily, carving a 60-mile wide swath across Georgia, before converging on the capital Milledgeville and ultimately capturing Savannah on December the 21st. By advancing along parallel routes, Sherman utilized psychological maneuvering to mask his true target, Milledgeville. Feints toward Macon and Augusta thoroughly confused the enemy, leaving decentralized Confederate forces fractured and completely unable to mass a unified defense against the primary Union columns. This timeline details key flashpoints demonstrating the futility of Confederate resistance. Through engagements like Griswoldville and Waynesboro, Union forces shattered opposing militia and cavalry, overcame river barriers with rapid engineering, and decisively cleared the file path toward the coastal perimeter of Savannah. Guided by Special Field Orders No. 120, thousands of foragers called bummers secured the Army's survival. Operating across a 60-mile front, they systematically commandeered provisions and destroyed infrastructure, successfully sustaining the Union advance while denying vital resources to the Confederacy. This slide details the systematic destruction of Confederate rail infrastructure through the 4-step process of Sherman's neckties. By uprooting, incinerating, superheating, and deforming the iron rails around trees, Union pioneer battalions permanently ruined the track's metallurgical integrity, denying the South any hope of easy repair. This slide chronicles the tragic turning point at Ebenezer Creek. To expedite military movement, General Davis abandoned thousands of freed refugees by removing a vital pontoon bridge. Hundreds drowned fleeing pursuing Confederate cavalry, sparking an immense public outcry that directly inspired the historic 40 acres and a mule directive. Reaching the coast, Sherman confronted a heavily fortified Savannah. Rather than launching a direct assault across flooded fields, Union forces bypassed the defenses to storm Fort McAllister. This decisive 15-minute victory opened vital naval supply lines, forcing the Confederate evacuation and securing the campaign's ultimate prize. With the campaign won, General Sherman presented his ultimate prize directly to President Lincoln, the captured city of Savannah, as a historic Christmas gift. This legendary dispatch provided a massive psychological triumph for the Union, confirming the absolute success of a march conducted entirely in the dark. This grim balance sheet captures the campaign's final architecture of devastation. Totaling $100 million in ruin, it quantifies the erased rail lines, thousands of confiscated livestock, and millions of pounds of crops consumed to systematically dismantle the Confederacy's material at capacity to wage war. This synthesis maps a profound paradigm shift in military history. By transitioning from traditional limited warfare to Sherman's uncompromising hard war doctrine, the Union systematically targeted economic infrastructure and civilian resources, shattering Southern morale and exposing the Confederacy's complete inability to protect its own people. This final slide outlines the profound legacy of General Sherman's march. First, it details an era of economic stagnation, where capital destruction triggered a massive contraction in agricultural investment and manufacture that lingered into the 1920s. Second, the campaign achieved strategic strangulation by crippling Georgia's logistics, severing the Confederate supply chain to starve Robert E. Lee's forces and hasten the surrender at Appomattox. Finally, the march served as a blueprint for modern war. By operating deep in enemy territory without supply lines, Sherman proved that destroying a nation's economic capacity and psychological will is as lethal as destroying its armies.